Over the years, we've gotten a lot of recognizable video game characters, franchises, and just overall some games that everybody just knows when they see them. And Mortal Kombat is probably one of the most recognized and most iconic video game franchises there's ever been. In fact, it's literally the reason I even played fighters. Any game like Smash Bros. Or Street Fighter, it was all inspired by Mortal Kombat, at least to me and my personal experience with them. Over the years, Mortal Kombat has shifted from what it originally was to what it is now, and especially with the new release of Mortal Kombat 1. This newest point in the franchises marks a lot of changes, including a new Earthrealm Protector for the story mode and a very unique cameo system. Now, for myself personally, I have a lot of differing opinions on this game since I've been playing Mortal Kombat for a long time, but we'll get into those. Anyways, welcome to my review of Mortal Kombat 1.
And soon you will discover that even in this new era, one constant remains. There is always something worth fighting for.
Like any good game franchise, Mortal Kombat 1 has come a long way with its story mode. So let's talk about the campaign. The campaign for Mortal Kombat 1 is definitely a step in the right direction and compared to Mortal Kombat 11. I still personally believe that Mortal Kombat X or Mortal Kombat 10 has the best story out of these NetherRealm studio-led story games. I just liked those characters the most. I liked the way the story was told the most. But I definitely think this one, in my opinion, is the second or third best, kind of depending on how much you like Mortal Kombat 9. And I mainly like the way this story is because it's just different than pretty much everything we've gotten. The actual Mortal Kombat tournament is about 5 minutes. It is one chapter, and it's literally the end parts of that chapter. I like that this campaign is a lot more character driven for the first 80% or so. I think characters like Baraka are done beautifully, and the changes that they were able to make, since this is now a brand new timeline, really show, and I think that is the strongest point of the campaign. I really like the changes they made to Raiden's character in this game too. I liked how him and Liu Kang have pretty much just swapped like sides, and they've pretty much just swapped lives. I enjoy that Raiden is the Earthrealm champion, even though I personally would have liked it more if Liu Kang chose Kung Lao, just because of their given friendship and history, and even that end credit scene for Mortal Kombat 11. But you know, I can deal with Raiden getting the spotlight again, especially because after that part of the story with Raiden, he's pretty much non-existent, and that is probably my only real complaint with the campaign, is that the pacing, although obviously it's a Mortal Kombat game, so they're really just trying to find different situations to get these characters to fight each other, I didn't think that the entire story flowed the best. Not to say that it was badly written or anything like that, because again, I think characters like Baraka and Melina, pretty much all of the characters were just done justice, and they were done really well, and that just kind of attributes itself to the general roster that this game has. Now, Mortal Kombat 11 had a very interesting roster. There was a lot of created characters just for that game because so many characters had been killed off, and even though their revenant forms and kind of brought back from different timeline forms were available on the roster, I just didn't really like it. But with this game, I think it's almost as good as MKX. MKX, I think personally, just had the best roster, and I think that this one is definitely a second best. I liked the callback characters in this game a lot, as well as the additions of new ones like Geras. I think he's a great staple character, and based on Liu Kang's ending of the towers, it seems like Geras is going to be a very hard staple for Mortal Kombat going forward, and I'm very much okay with this. I also think the stages in this game are so good, and I think the background music in the fights just really kind of ties it all together to have an overall very solid fighting experience. I definitely think that this game is under MKX in my opinion, but I think it's probably the second best feeling that these games has had since Mortal Kombat X. I'm a firm believer that that is the best Mortal Kombat has ever felt, and this game definitely doesn't get near it, but it's definitely a step closer than MK11 was. Now we get to things I didn't really like about this game, and there's probably going to be more of these than what I did like, but I just want to make it clear that I like this game a lot. It's not my favorite fighter of the year, but it's definitely close. I think I definitely enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed Street Fighter 6, but for me personally, Street Fighter 6 just meant more due to my videos' successfulness for this channel, as well as just the overall feeling I had while playing that game. I felt like I actually really improved while playing that game. This game, I didn't really feel that way. And I'm not going to take this as a negative or a positive because this is more a personal thing for myself, but I didn't really feel like this game had a very good beginner-friendly thing or practice tool like Street Fighter 6. Now, again, I feel like I was decent at the fighting in this game. I just played through the story mode and I felt warmed up, and then I was able to go online and win a couple matches here and there. It's nothing along the lines of I'm just really bad and that's why I don't like it. I think it's more along the lines that I wish that there was something they could have added more to make the practice better for newer players. Again, I don't feel like I'm a new Mortal Kombat player because I've played almost all of the games going back to the OG Mortal Kombat, but I think just personally I would have liked to see that extra oomph. You're going to see that's kind of a theme for this section of the video, is I would have liked to see a lot of extra care put in different places. One of those places is, sadly, the Invasions mode. Now, when Invasions was talked about and was announced and was first shown, I was actually really excited for it. I have kind of a hot take where I'm not the biggest fan of Crypt, or at least I wasn't that big of a fan of the Crypt until I played Invasions, and it made me a much bigger Crypt fan. I think that the Crypt was just done better. I think that the way it looked while you were walking around was done better. And I think the mini games in the Crypt, or at least the little mini fights, were done in a better way than Invasions were. And it sucks because I really wanted to like Invasions, and I think Invasions is a great way to practice if you are a newer player. I just didn't really like it in general. I think the main thing that I didn't like about Invasions was I did not like the randomness of the fights. I think that there should have been a lot more test your mights thrown in there, or other little mini games thrown in there, because it's really just go to one spot, fight somebody, go to another spot, fight somebody, go back, get ambushed by the same person that you fought 3 spaces prior, and then eventually hit a trio spot, which is 3 of the previous characters that you had fought on the board. And I just didn't really like it. Now again, maybe I have a hot take here, but I actually did enjoy the difficultness, quote unquote, of the towers in Invasion. I thought that the towers were done pretty well, and yes, they were very annoying with the different kind of powers that they were giving the AI characters, but I personally liked that. It made it a little more challenging sometimes, but again, it just really felt like a useless grind. And that's something else I didn't really enjoy about this game, is the leveling up system and just kind of the grind feature of trying to level up a character was just not for me. I feel like you don't really unlock a lot for leveling up a character or leveling up your profile, and even if you get a bunch of coins when you go and spend them at like their little loot box shrine place, you really are not going to get a lot. For example, I'm a Reptile main. I don't know what that makes me in the Mortal Kombat community. I just really like Reptile. I like his entire different chains. I like his different combos. I like the way he looks. I like his character in the story. I just overall liked Syzoth, and I liked his character, and I literally got nothing out of the shrine for him ever. I think I've spent 30,000 coins in the shrine, and I've literally unlocked more concept art than color palettes. And that's probably my biggest thing that I did not like about Mortal Kombat 1 was I did not enjoy the customization aspects of this game. It felt like in Mortal Kombat 1 you just were limited in what you could customize, especially in compared to games like Mortal Kombat 11 and especially compared to games like Injustice 2. Now, I bring up Injustice 2 because I actually didn't like the way the customization felt in that game. I thought there was just way too much, and I thought that each kind of gear having a different kind of power system or element to it just wasn't that cool. I'm not a huge fan of that. I think it can kind of get sticky with pay to win, especially because you can only really get some of these things in loot boxes. But I think even that was done better than the customization in MK1. In MK1, you can change the color, the base skin that the character may have, which is probably 1 to 3 different skins, or either their mask, if you're Johnny, sunglasses, or like Kenshi's sword, which you can't even really see. It just felt limited. It felt really rushed to me. And all the finishers look great. All the brutalities look great. All the characters look amazing. I just wish I could change more with them. Not only that, I wish I could just customize them more. Give me more color palettes, give me more custom made skins. And yes, maybe they will do this down the line, but now that the game is pretty much in the stage of almost being cycled out of my rotation because of big games like Spider-Man 2, Alan Wake 2, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, all these big games that are coming out right now, it feels like Mortal Kombat 1 is going to slip behind. Obviously, I'm really excited, like everyone else, for the combat packs. I always really like them, and I really hope we get a story DLC because I think MK11 Aftermath was leagues better than MK11's main story, and if they can kind of have that same quality jump from MK1 to MK1 DLC, it would be really, really strong and done really well. But again, I just can't really get behind this game the same way I got behind MKX or MK9, but I definitely like this game more than MK11. I know I've criticized a lot of the game, and I didn't really compliment all that much, but that's just because I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan, and I'm someone who will always buy these games because I always enjoy them. These are games for me that really are important because they take away a lot of free time or boredom that I have. I've been moving, for example, my girlfriend and I have been moving, and a lot of the times in my spare time, I just pick up and grind Invasion, even though I don't really like it. That is just something that I felt like I needed to do. It reminds me of older Call of Duty games where if I had a free 10-15 minutes before doing something, I could play a match or play a lobby, and that's how MK and Mortal Kombat just in general has always felt to me personally, and MK1 just doesn't really have that stick factor like the other ones have. There's a lot of promise with MK1, especially in regards to the story, the character designs, the stages, the graphics, the music, all of these really great things, and then just some of the additional features of the game just really drag it down. I personally think that MK1 was just pushed out of the oven a little too quickly. There's a lot of things that I didn't cover too. There's a lot of like online matchmaking problems. I know that they said that crossplay was going to be in the game, and it still is not in the game. I know that there's a lot of problems with latency and lag, and if you're playing with a wired connection compared to a Wi-Fi player, there can be a lot of problems. And these are just things that I don't personally have too much experience with, just because I don't play these games for online matches. I play these games for my own personal kind of grind, and if I get the chance, I will play them online. So overall, I think Mortal Kombat 1 is a very solid game, and if you are contemplating on getting the game, I would say wait, because usually what they do is once the DLC drops and they wait a couple weeks, they'll bundle the games together and sell it at either base price for the game, $10 more for the base price, or a little bit cheaper on a discount. And I definitely think that is the way to go, especially if you're waiting for characters like Peacemaker, Homelander, or Omni-Man. I think obviously the player count is probably going to drop and then go back up when the DLCs drop, and that's just how these games work. Just personally for me, I don't know if I would shill out the full money for this game if I had a do-over for it. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. This is the new setup, and I know it's kind of echoey in here, I don't know how I'm gonna fix that, but I'll figure it out. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out my other videos. You guys have been killing it. The South Park video did really well. I'm definitely making more South Park videos when Snow Day comes out, and I have some other videos planned here. I want to make an Assassin's Creed video. I don't really have time between Assassin's Creed and Spider-Man 2. We'll see. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. As always, stay safe.